I so enjoyed doing the Get Ready With Me yesterday that we're gonna do a haunted house actor story time while I get ready for the day. I started to film this before, but I did not turn on the 10-minute feature, and I cannot get a good story out in 60 seconds or less. So as I stated in my last video, I taught myself how to use jumping stilts in 2020, literally in my living room. For those that don't know what jumping stilts are, I'm going to show you a video right here. So as you can see, I do a clown on jumping stilts, and it's fun for me. I like the larger than life, visually impacting characters. All the stuff that I do is like, wow, big, over the top, scary, etc., blah, blah, blah. So the big thing for me when learning jumping stilts, besides walking on them, was learning how to get up off of the ground if I happen to fall, which I did in the comfort of my home. The stick that I was carrying around in that costume is specifically if people stop and ask me for a picture, or God forbid I trip, just to kind of catch myself as a third leg. So circling back to what I was saying about how when some customers come to visit the haunted house, they don't really see us as people. Well, I'd say biggest nemesis of them all are teenage brats. You'll get these group of kids, 9 times out of 10, they are boys, and they like to verbally harass you, physically harass you, and they like to just act like the tough guy in front of all of their friends, and it drives me absolutely up a wall. So the haunted house I work at is kind of like a fairground setup where there's food and places to walk. There's a front and a back. So there's a lot of ground to cover just to kind of paint a picture for you. And see, me being ambitious, I use my stilts on pavement. I also use them on dirt and uneven ground. I've kind of figured out how these things work, and nothing really scares me at this point. And typically when you're wearing a costume like mine with stilts, you're supposed to have a buddy with you. In general, I feel where we work, you need to always buddy up because you just never know when drunk customers are going to be unpredictable and do something to make you uncomfortable. So it's typically safety precautionary to be with somebody else. Well, you see, anyone who's worked with me will probably attest in the comments that I am notorious for walking really, really fast and pulling away from the group unintentionally. Have it be my anxiety or just when I get it into my character, I don't know what it is. I just tend to walk really fast. Again, I'm also 6'2" and I have really long legs, so that could be part of it. So for one reason or another, I ended up by myself. Have it be I got stopped for a picture, my friend got stopped for a picture. Who really knows? Again, it's not uncommon. And again, I walk really fast when I get excited or whatever, or really into my act. So I hear these kids yelling at me from far away, and I hear them hey, Harley Quinn, huh? Or whatever. And again, people come up with the stupidest stuff. It's the first thing that comes to their mind. And I find that when people are more afraid, they say the more stupider things than normal. And my motto for, customers that decide they want to be rude and nasty, I don't give them a show. I just kind of move on, or I'll say something snarky to make them look stupid to their friends, and I just move along. And for one reason or another, this group was really peeved that I didn't want to stop and take a picture with them. But sorry, you're making fun of me and I'm not really having it, so no show for you. And as mentioned before, picture this park as a giant circle. So even though I passed them the first time, I bumped into them again. But this time, however, I happen to be in our back lot where all of our food vendors are and a couple of our haunted houses are. We have a big bonfire. And these kids decided to come up behind me, and I didn't know they were coming. Not only did they sneak up behind me, but when I was all by myself, they gave me a good old 2-handed shove from the back. And they had to know that they had done something really wrong, because by the time that I realized who did it and what happened, they were already sprinting towards the parking lot. Oh, and forgot to mention, the one that shoved me yells out as he's running away, "And that's what you get for not taking a picture with us." And again, I don't do that unless you're being malicious and intentionally nasty. Moral of the story, if I did not have my walking stick and I wasn't prepared for that, I would have fallen on my face and potentially really hurt myself. And as much as I would like to say that's only happened once, it's happened a lot more times than I can count. That's just one out of the probably hundreds of stories I have. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear more.